We can't pay you,
but the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yes. Yeah, I know. Well, it was organized in California. It had nothing to do with the Phillies. Okay. People throwing the thing. And that's another we can get. People start saying, oh, but you'll get great exposure.
Yeah.
I'm sure fans hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I love because my house mortgage is 2,000 exposures a month. So good thing.
What's going on, everybody? You're listening to the Poorly Edited Podcast. We are live at WXLV The X at L Tri-C main campus. We're the show that likes to put a spotlight on the most creative minds we can find, the very best a couple college kids can do, or just two college kids sometimes.
Not very
well. My name's Coffee Guy.
My name's Patrick Lilly.
And today we have kind of a little bit of an old new friend of ours, Ari Felber. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right, what do you do?
Yeah.
I'm a professional entertainer. I do magic, mind reading, and comedy.
Oh, I didn't know you did mind reading.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, on here, it's written magician and mentalist.
Yes, the mentalist. Yes.
And we're going to talk a lot about the magic stuff, I promise, but I don't even know what a mentalist is.
A mentalist is more of a mind magician.
Okay.
You may think of something, and the mentalist will tell you what it is.
Oh, okay.
You can demonstrate something later if you'd like.
Yeah, no, that'd be great.
That'd be cool. Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I'm scared. I will admit, I don't want anybody in my mind. So, but whatever. Whatever happens, I guess. So, did you have something you wanted? You looked at me with a certain set of eyes, Pat.
I mean, intro music by Airspace.
Oh, right. Thank you. Our good friend Chris Carcetti, local band Airspace.
So, just to give people an idea of where you're at as a magician, where would you, on a scale of like Penn and Teller to Chris Angel Mind Freak, where do you fall?
You mean my style?
Yeah, or like
how far
approach,
along
I guess.
Fame and fortune.
Fame and fortune. No. Well, I don't have Chris Angel, Penn and Teller money. I'll tell you that much.
Sure.
But
not yet.
So Chris Angel does this whole kind of, he does the kind of, he'll like swallow a quarter and cut his arm open and pull it out.
Yeah,
it's interesting. It's not my bag. Penn and Teller have a little more comedy. They play off each other. I do more comedy. I do the magic. I do comedy clubs, corporate events. I travel around doing all kind of different venues, doing it full time, doing over about 200 shows a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to do something that is quite difficult and make a name for ourselves, but it's still it's something that people will be like, oh, okay. Well, but you have clearly gotten to a point where you're a successful full-time magician. That couldn't have been easy.
No.
And there had to have been moments where you were like, wait a minute, what? And what am I doing?
I still have those moments sometimes. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Most people just get paid every week or two or every month. And I do, but I have to work for it.
Yeah.
What I was talking to my friend about, I'm writing a book right now about all this stuff. And it's a process, you know, it's a process like anything else. There's really no such thing as overnight success. I mean, I was doing kid birthday parties. I was charging way less than I do now.
Was that the start then?
That was the start, kid birthday parties. I'll tell you, when I was about 12, I went to Las Vegas with my dad, and he bought me a bunch of magic tricks, and then I stopped doing them. But before I went off to college, I found that little bag of tricks, pun intended.
Yeah.
I found the bag of tricks that he bought me, and I started doing this one card trick on campus at Westchester, and people just liked it. Next thing you know, I was like the magician. I'd be walking down the street, hey, show me a trick. And I kind of got this identity of the magician. I wasn't getting paid or anything.
Right, yeah.
But I just kind of got addicted to that feeling of performing. I've always been like a performer. And eventually I was hired to do a Relay for Life Cancer-a-thon event.
That's awesome.
I did it for free, got some footage, some videos, and just, 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, 4 steps forward, 2 steps.
Yeah.
It's a process, just like anything. But, if you have the passion, it works out no matter what you're trying to do.
Is it comparable to the trajectory of a musician, you think? Kind of similar?
I feel like that's for sure. I mean, musicians...
And maybe just entertainers in general.
In general, absolutely. I really honestly don't think there's a recipe for overnight success. It's just not true. Maybe you go on America's Got Talent as a kid and you know, but it's all about leveraging, using your network is a big one too. I mean, I don't know how many people I know that have helped me get gigs through where they work, and if you're passionate about it and it's all you want to do, you make it happen. You just won't not. I mean, I had times where I would do shows and I would go, I don't know, I'm really getting discouraged here. This is people are being rude during my show. Maybe I'll do something else, but
Do people heckle during magic shows?
Every once in a while,
Really?
I used to do a lot of children's shows, birthday parties, and for some reason the parents think it's cute when the little toddlers running up on the stage during the show, and and sometimes that's almost like a heckler. I mean, I do comedy clubs and stuff, and every once in a while someone will be drinking too much, and you got to put them in their place a little. But that's the thing. I mean, there's no such thing as reading books and DVDs and then going and performing for people and having it just flow perfectly. I mean, there's totally a learning curve.
Yeah.
And the you learn the most when you actually have to do it for real people, in real life situations.
Yeah. You can't replicate that.
You can't replicate that. And it's the same like you're saying for any entertainer, but especially for a band as well. I mean, you can practice, but what happens when, all of a sudden your amp starts squeaking? For me, I mean, I'll do a show for 200 people and all of a sudden my mic, the darn rabbit's dead. He's in the hat. Like I forgot to feed him. But no, like the microphone starts squeaking, and there's these things that you just learn on the fly that you just, people ask me all the time, and you just do it. You just got to perform as much as possible.
Do you have a go-to shutdown for hecklers, or is it like,
oh man, or
is it like kind of ignoring it kind of thing, or? Yeah,
there's like a fine line. It depends. I mean, I haven't had too many people like flat out just heckle to the point where I was doing a wedding a long time ago, and the guy had been drinking, and I think it was like his cousin's wedding, and he was like, "Get this guy off the stage," or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, they shouldn't serve alcohol before the show." I thought it was funny, but if you command the stage, you come out there, for the most part, you're probably not going to get heckled. You'll get a drunk guy, or even woman for that matter, here and there, who would just call out thinking they're funny just because they're so drunk.
Right. Yeah.
So like I said, it's all things that happen that you can't prepare for until they happen. Until that moment hits, there's no way to prepare for stuff like that.
So you got your start walking around your college campus. And just kind of, I guess it was that charity event that kind of really changed things for you, where you thought maybe I should start actually thinking about a career. What were you going to college for? And like, was it something where you're just like, I guess, I got to go to college sort of thing?
A little bit. I mean, I was somewhat sold on what I was going to do. Yeah. I was a health and phys ed major, teacher. Okay. I like sports. I like kids. Yeah. I thought, this would be good for me. Honestly, I wasn't too sold on anything. I mean, I had no clue. I just, like you said, it was like, you go to college and that's what you do, and then you figure it out from there. So but like I did that Relay for Life, and I did it for free. And then after the show, I took my little $200 camera that I had bought, and I filmed the lady and said, "Hey, can you say something nice about me? Like I'm a magician." And she did. And so then I could start sending that to other people and stuff like that. At one point, restaurants actually have magicians. I don't know if you knew this, if you've ever seen this before.
Oh, okay.
It's called a strolling magician. And they'll have them go around and out, restaurant for about 2 hours once a week or so. Anyway,
that sounds like a tough gig, though.
It can be tough. It's nice though, because you do get paid every week. So if you book 3 of those a week, it's almost like you have a normal job, and you get to be in front of people to trying to get business cards out and try to get more work. But I do remember though, like you touched on it earlier, when I decided I really wanted to be a professional magician, I went into a TGI Fridays and I pitched them, and they loved it. They loved the idea. And I was doing it every Wednesday night from like 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And I remember just leaving there being so inspired and like motivated, like, okay, wow, like people like what I do. Like I actually just got paid. Like this would be awesome if I could just do this.
That's a crazy feeling when you're like holding the first paycheck or whatever.
It's crazy. Like, me and my friend joke about it all the time. We're like, we just got paid X amount of dollars to do card tricks, basically, to like just walk around and be kind of the life of the party. I'm like, so it's pretty wild. Like sometimes I literally pinch myself. I'm like, this has to be a dream. Like 200 shows a year. Like,
well, it is one of the most bizarre things, because like even it's related to other entertainers, but there's just like this big network of everybody knows somebody who's in a band, but it's like you're going on stage and you're just tricking people. You're just doing magic tricks, and it's like, well, it's so out there. It's
and it's
so
Bear's form. It's absolutely right. You're literally just like having fun with people for a living. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to imagine.
So let's talk about like, I don't know, the art of a magic trick. Cause I don't know if you've seen The Prestige.
Parts of it.
They kind of break down, so this is one of my favorite movies, and I don't remember, like they break it down into like 3 parts. It's like, it's something like, Lizzie, do you know this? You haven't seen this movie? What?
It's like they like establish it.
Right. It's like the establishing, and then there's like the turn, and then there's the prestige, where you're supposed to like bring it back or something like that. I wanted to know what the process of kind of your approach to doing tricks is what I was trying to get at there.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope I'm answering your question. What I do is I find a trick and I decide something that I'd like to do. If it's going to be funny or if it's going to be serious, it's going to be like scary, whatever it is. And then I'll practice it to the point where I'm pretty darn confident, like I'm going to do it right. And then I'll try it out on like, I typically try out new tricks on a show that doesn't pay as much.
Right. Yeah,
or somewhere where like if I do mess up a little bit.
It's just like comedians. Cause like, like these stories will come out where they'll like a famous comedian will bomb a show or something. And it's like, that's part of the process.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
You have to test that new material on a real crowd.
There's no, like we were saying, there's no way around it. I mean, it's a silly saying, but it's pretty true. Like, I mean, they say, the master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. And
no, that's absolutely true.
And it's true. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, there's really no way around it. There's just no way. Like, nobody is going to be like 100% like best show ever every time. It just won't happen.
Right.
Musician will tell you that. I'll tell you that. Like anyone who performs, it just it's all learning experiences. And like I used to get really discouraged, and now I just try to use them as learning experiences to get better. And at some point you can do everything in your power to make it go right, and sometimes it just won't.
Yeah.
And we saw a little bit of that when we filmed you doing that at that restaurant. It was like a bunch of people weren't really on, like they watched it and they were like, that was good, but they weren't like really on board. Then we got that one guy who was like going, it looked like we planted him there for the video.
It really did, the way he was like answering. I remember that.
I love
too.
that guy though.
Yeah, he was fun.
I wasn't there. Even I was like, is that guy real? Like, that's incredible.
It did seem like we like paid him to say that, but he really wasn't.
Then 5 minutes later, he walked back over and he was like exactly as ecstatic.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, he was not a plant.
That's
never met that guy in my life.
That's awesome. I mean, that's got to be the best possible.
Well, yeah, I mean, for me, it's actually nice too. I'm like, when you're getting these reactions, that I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm filming now too.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's another big one. I mean, social. Like, if you want to get more work, music, magic, whatever, first thing you got to do is get good video.
Yeah.
Because the first thing clients are going to ask you, if they have to actually pay you a good amount of money, if they're only paying you a small amount of money, maybe they won't care and they'll just go, oh yeah, magician, you do this and that, sounds great, whatever. But if you're getting paid an amount of money for a company, a corporation, like there's a lot of red tape, so they want to know what they're getting. So I mean, you need footage, and how do you get footage? You have to perform to get footage. So in the beginning, my advice would be, and what I did is I performed for free until I got enough footage to, it was bad footage.
Yeah.
Not necessarily me being bad, it was just like on a shaky camera and like maybe like someone's living room doing a little show for like 8 kids but you have to accumulate all that. And
you got to snowball.
You do have to snowball, and it's such a process. And word of mouth is probably the most effective way to get booked, because I could tell you till I'm blue in the face, I'm good, but why are you going to believe that?
Right.
But if your best friend says, oh, we had him and he was amazing, blah, 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 it's so much easier to get booked. It's just, the whole thing is such a process.
Did you have, starting out, like a network of people that you could have learned some of these things from? Because like I said, it's so different from the other kinds of entertainers out there. It sounds like you had to figure out a lot of that stuff on your own.
I did figure a lot of it. I have a friend now who like helps me with the business aspect, and he kind of mentors me because he's doing it full time. He's been doing it full time for years longer than I have. He does like colleges and stuff like that. But I mean, like in the beginning, it was mostly like DVDs and books to learn the tricks.
Right.
There's actually, for you musicians out there, there's actually 2 websites. One's called Gig Masters and one is called Gig Salad. And what they are is they're just they're websites that help you book shows.
Oh, okay.
So you basically pay them. I think you can actually get like a free service, but you get like hardly any leads. But it's a small amount of money. You pay them, and then when someone's looking for an entertainer, like within a certain mile radius of where you live, which you get to enter in, you can get a little message, and it's this is, if you're a musician, maybe it would say like, we're a small restaurant, looking to have a musician come out Saturday, October 19th, do this, do that. So once I found out about that, because I was just so hooked on performing, just so hooked on it, like that was how I started to actually get paid. So, I mean,
it's like Pinterest for entertainers.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
I guess so.
In a way.
Is that how Pinterest works? I don't use Pinterest.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I also don't have a Pinterest.
Well, great reference, Pat.
Thanks.
So.
So like, is there like an underground magician like message board or network or something? Is that a thing?
We're vampires. Okay. If you want to be a magician, you have to be bitten in the neck. And I mean, kinda like, I don't know. Like I stay pretty mainstream. Like I do it full time, so I have to kind of keep like top of mind and stuff. So I have 2 different websites. I have a corporate website, which is the newer one, and then I have a family one, which I created years ago when I just started out doing family shows. I have a great web guy who's made these for me. Yeah, I mean, there are underground guys, and there's a lot of magicians who are like focused on moves. Like they're really, really good at magic, but they don't really perform that much for like real people or getting paid for it really, but they're like really good at the actual magic. I'm not that kind of guy.
Yeah, okay.
Like I like doing magic, and I can do sleight of hand and stuff like that, but I'm nowhere near as good as these guys. But for me, I mean,
it's the performance.
Yeah,
I can see where there would be that split with different people. Some people just like really want to grind out that crazy trick or whatever it is.
Yeah, some people just, I mean, there's such a huge difference between like a full-time performer and not.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it in like an egotistical way. There's just like, I spend more of my time like marketing and worrying about getting paid as opposed to like learning actual tricks. I mean, I don't add lots of new tricks to my repertoire. I mean, I know what works for me and I do it. Like I've got a show for everything. I can do a family show. I can still do a show for just little kids. I do a show for a corporate audience of 100 to 1,000 people on stage. I can do the walk around close-up magic. Like I have everything lined up. And a lot of guys are like super technical. And it's probably the same with music. I mean, there's probably guys who can like totally shred on a guitar, but the guys who are playing like the kind of pop, like catchy things that aren't as technically good, but they're like out there doing it and like getting paid and getting seen. So there's it's all about entertainment value. To be honest, it's about you. It's not the trick. Like any trick can entertain somebody. Any trick can trick somebody or be magical. But it's you. People are coming to see you in essence. It's the personality. Everyone's different, and there's no right or wrong persona.
Right.
But my advice is people ask it's not the trick. Don't spend $500 a month and all because magic tricks come out. Like people create things and sell them online.
That's crazy. Wow.
So it's all about you. I mean, people want to see you. So just do you and be entertaining more than anything else.
Yeah.
Totally more important, I think, than, being sleight of hand master.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to be right back. We're going to go to break real quick.
When we come back, more magic, I think.
And we're back. The Poilated Podcast.
Have you ever done a magic trick, Pat?
No.
Have you ever tried? Do you ever get one of those kits?
No, I haven't.
I did when I was young, and I don't think I had the mental capacity at the time to be able to pull it off. But I don't even think I was quite 12, and you said you were 12.
Something like that. I mean, a lot of people say they start when they're 4, Grandpa did this or that.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a little at 12 and then waited till I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
A little different road to get there than most.
So if you're just coming in, we're talking to Ari Paul, the magician, the full-time magician. This man makes a living performing magic tricks to people. And we have already talked a little bit about his kind of introduction to magic. Maybe
his come up.
His come up. Is that an industry term, Pat?
I don't know. It's the name of the Black Keys album.
Well.
So it says on the outline, you perform in front of celebrity. You have performed in front of celebrity.
Yeah,
I'll give you a funny story. Okay. I know we talked a lot. I talked a lot about how to get gigs and how to kind of build up your social proof, and people, can just look at your videos and not have to really ask many questions. They're sold already because they've seen what you do.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Philadelphia Phillies baseball team, I remember. So I'm sitting there watching TV one day, and this commercial comes on, and it goes, meet, Cole Hamels and Hunter Pence and all the Philadelphia Phillies. And I go, a little light bulb goes off in my head. Wonder if I could get in there and do magic if they'd like that.
So this was like 2011, 2012?
Something like that.
Throw right when I was Phillies knowledge out there.
There you go, man. Yeah, totally. Yeah, Hamilton. Yeah, you got that. So I'm just starting out. I'm a nobody. I don't have any good video. I'm just whatever. But I'm driven, and I'm like, I really want to do this. Anyhow, I reached out to the lady. I Google something after the commercial, and this lady actually ends up communicating with me.
Yeah.
She goes, you know what? We can't pay you, but we'd love to have you come out. Yeah, that's how it goes in the beginning.
So it was like, we can't pay you, but
the Philadelphia Phillies. So
yes. Yeah, I know. Well, it was organized in California. It had nothing to do with the Phillies. People throwing the thing. And that's another we can get into. People start saying, but you'll get great exposure.
Yeah.
I'm sure bands hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I love because my house mortgage is 2,000 exposures a month. So good thing get that. No. So anyway, I talked to the lady. She agrees. She said, we'd love to have you do the strolling, walking around magic. It was on the Moshulu. I don't know if you're familiar. That's actually a boat down on Christopher Columbus Boulevard, Penn's Landing.
Okay.
Turned into a restaurant, like wedding venue. It's really fancy.
Okay. I have actually heard of that.
So long story short, I show up. And the lady goes, oh, hey, whatever. She goes, all the fans waiting for autographs are on that end of the boat. And all the all the players and TV people are over there. But we want you with the fans. And okay, that's not what I wanted to hear. Whatever. So I go over to the fans. I do magic for half an hour. And I'm kind of like, you know what? kind of mosey my way over to the other side of the boat.
I can disappear and reappear at the right side of the boat. Come on.
Walk up to the bouncer. Oh, I'm the magician. No problem. He goes, oh yeah, go through there.
Is that can you get in a lot of places by just saying I'm the magician?
You probably could. You could probably could like go to get all dressed up and go to a hotel and just say, hey, I'm part of the. Long story short, next thing you know, boom, here's Cole Hamels, here's Shane Victorino,
wow.
John Mayberry, all these Philly guys.
That's awesome.
And next thing you know, I'm doing magic, and I'm doing magic for these guys, and they're loving it. I got video on my website of this. Like, I've proof of this. And next thing you know, I turn around and I realize I'm being filmed, and I'm just like, cha-ching,
Yeah.
So I finish doing the magic, and I run over to the photographer, and I'm like, look, man, like, that footage would mean so much to me. And he got it to me. And, like, that was my video I was just sending out from there on.
Yeah.
People are like, want to hire you. I'm like, great. Do you have videos? Yeah, here's me doing magic for the Phillies, like Cole Hamels. And then on top of it all, the producer from a TV show in Philly was at the event covering it.
Wow, okay.
And she ended up having me on her TV show 5 times doing magic.
That's
awesome. She really liked what I did. So it's like little bits of luck plus little bits of plus hard work.
Yeah.
Just is a recipe for it. You get a little luck, a little hard work, things falling
right place, right time, taking advantage of good opportunities.
And obviously the only thing is just never ever stop, never give up.
Yeah.
You don't give up, you win, As frustrating sometimes as it may feel. I know I've been there a million times, gig doesn't come through that I really wanted. And I'm like,
yeah.
But you strap on your boots and keep going.
Any other celebrities? Maybe?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just
I was doing
name drop it, man. Come
totally,
on.
man.
They're fun stories.
Yeah, man. So I'm doing magic at a bar mitzvah, right? And I get there early, and it's me and the photographer just chilling, hanging out, waiting for it's like a real nice venue, like big time money. And here comes a Jim Parsons, Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory, walks in with his I guess fiance or husband. And me and the photographer look at each other and kind of like, is that, And it was, and I walked up to him and I was like, hey man, like, I know it's going to get crazy in here. There's going to be so many people in here, but can I, I didn't even ask him if I could do magic for him. He was like in a total low key mood. Like you could tell he's probably so over, like everywhere he goes, someone wanting to do something because he's famous. But I said, can I get a picture with you? And he said, yeah, of course. So we got a picture with him and that was cool. And I put that on my website, more social proof. Who else? Michael Nutter, which is a former mayor of Philadelphia.
Yeah, okay.
I did a gig for this big mayor's event. That was actually a funny gig because they hired me to do like an hour of walking around magic. We called it close-up magic, and like literally just like a 10-minute stage show. So I'm in the back of this huge banquet hall doing my close-up magic, and then all of a sudden I hear this person go, and now, Ari Paul! And like no warning, like here I go running like through the crowd. Like I wasn't even set up. Like there's so many stories of like nightmare situations that happen. Oh my gosh.
But that was for the mayor.
That was for the mayor.
That's funny. We had somebody on. We had a jazz musician on who just called up the White House one day.
Yeah.
And he got a gig at the White House playing piano. So, hey, man, I don't know if that's what they're looking for, but you never know.
You never know.
That'd be crazy.
I just sent a letter to the Ellen Show, just like, hey, I'm a magician who turned his hobby into a career.
Yeah.
Because, she always had these weird kind of shows.
Story,
So we'll see. that was a couple weeks ago, so I don't know. I sent her a letter. It said to send a letter in the mail on her website.
She seems pretty busy. She might have to take a while to get back to you.
Yeah. Her people, they probably get like thousands every day.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But that was cool.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Well, I remember this one time I was booked for a show, and this is like right again when I first started, and I was doing every and any show. Like now I kind of know better, so I'll like turn shows down if it sounds like it's going to be a nightmare.
Right.
Back in the day, I was like, no, I'll do it. I don't care. So I pull up to this house, and it was like a pretty bad neighborhood, and I'm like parked, and this guy like pulls up in the street. And he's yelling at the house I'm about to go in, I'm going to kill you. And he's yelling, I'm going to kill you. And all this jazz. And then the guy in the car like screeches on, and I just kind of like, here I come. Hey, I'm the magician. Hi. And everyone's all like wigged out. And like, I did a gig on a boat. That was cool. One of those boats down in Philly. They hired me to do. It was like
how did that show go, by the way?
I don't even remember. I was so scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was so scared.
I mean, it sounds like you're still alive, so it couldn't have gone that bad.
Yeah. It actually, I'm sure it went well, but that was uncomfortable. And I remember I did a show once in a basement. I'm like, this is totally how my life ends.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, the show's gonna be in the basement. And I'm like, all right, like, okay.
There's just one bare bulb in like the middle of the room. It's concrete walls.
I did it.
Yeah.
I can't remember
like
if I told this story on the show or not. I was doing this thing at a haunted house and like helping cover the story behind it and stuff. And I'm away from the rest of the crew, and two of the old caretakers, I was just with them. Everyone else is in a different room. And they're like, "Do you want to see the bloody attic?" And I'm like, "I guess so. I'm pretty sure this is how you die."
Yeah.
But it's like that same sort of thing. Again, it was just like one little light bulb and like scratches on the walls and stuff. Like clearly somebody was locked in there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'll tell you another good one is I've been hired to do magic at the airport. Oh, wow. So you know how airports are, like, you know, they're like, it's all about security and all. Yeah. So like here I am like walking up, hey, I'm a magician here at the airport. Would you like to see some magic? Some people are so skeptical, you know? Mm-hmm. So I always have someone with me that like has to like be TSA or whatever. Yeah. That's always an interesting gig. I've done that about 8 or 9 times crazy. Now. It's weird, you know. You just go to the terminals. Hey, yeah, I want to see magic.
Do you have to like explain your like? Because I assume if they look into a bag of like tricks or whatever. I mean, I don't know how extent. I don't know if you're just doing card tricks or whatever. But if there's like some weird mechanism that's like for a trick, would you have to like explain that, or like does that never come up?
For the close-up magic, like what I'm wearing now is all I wear. Like I don't have any like crazy contraptions or anything.
Sure.
If I'm doing like a show every once in a while. I have to bring in some big stuff, but I mean, for the most part, you know, and as a magician, you're not supposed to really explain, you know, what's really going on.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I used to carry, man, I would go around like when I first started and I'd have like 3 decks of cards for different things and like all these coins for coin tricks and like just total. And now like I'll do a gig, man, I got like a deck of cards, like a rubber band. I do a couple tricks with my phone.
That's great though.
And a wallet full of some tricks, and that's it. Like I've totally downsized. I mean, in the beginning, you know, they say it's better to, you know, be able to do like 15 tricks like completely really awesomely well. Mm-hmm. And then as opposed to be able to do 100 tricks but just kind of, you know, so at it.
Yeah.
And when you do it full time, it all changes. Like in the beginning, I used to try so hard just to be a good magician, and now I just perform so much more like a business person. Like I'm not trying to be like, I'm a great magician. I want to be like, hey, this magic is great, but that's me, and that's what I do for a living now. Yeah. So you should hire me, right? Not because of my magic, because I'm a businessman, and this is what I do.
That's something that I think a lot of people kind of struggle with too. Was it hard for you to kind of maybe give up parts of it because you know you needed to reach a certain direction?
Absolutely. I felt like times I would feel like that initial like little kid like
what am I doing?
Being a performer guy died slowly and and turned into like having to be like a business person. Yeah. Like going to meetings and corporate meetings and going to the hotels and meeting with the, you know, the like general managers and stuff like that. Like it used to be just so cool. Like I wasn't worried really about the money at the time when I first started. I was just having so much fun, like, you know, blowing doing little Billy's 5th birthday party, you know, like, and it was fun. And now it's like, I'm worried about contracts and like, I need an invoice and I got to send these people my insurance documents. And, you know, all of a sudden they say that, you know, they want to change the date on me. Oh, and the last second, hey, can we change the time on you? It's like, it's a job. It really is. And it's fun. Don't get me wrong. But like the actual performing tends to be the funnest part now. Like that's the fun. Like the actual technical work is the fun. And then the behind the scenes is, it'd be nice. I don't really mind the marketing stuff, but it would be cool to just like every year, just have like a schedule for the whole year, you know?
Right.
And you just know when you're working and that's that.
Yeah.
So that gets a little challenging sometimes. And then it will get slow. So my buddy said that, you know, if it does get slow, you know, take that time to work on some new routines or just, you know, or read a book on marketing. So just kind of got to keep full steam ahead.
All right. We're going to go to a break real quick, but we'll be right back with more magic.
This podcast is sponsored by Relevant, a location-based mobile network personalized by your interests. Customize your news feed to consolidate all the information you care about all in one place to quickly and easily find what's relevant to you. Find out what's going on in your local area and reach your community from the palm of your hand. Relevant is available on iOS and coming soon to Android. Be the first to know with Relevant.
Welcome back to the Poorly Edited Podcast.
Live
Ari Paul
on WXLV, the X.
The X.
And so we're here with Ari Paul. He's the magician. He's our magician.
The magician.
He's the magician of the Poorly Edited Podcast. So let's talk. Maybe in a little bit we'll do some tricks, but right now I want to talk about just tricks in general. Maybe like the one that always blows people's minds the most that you do.
I mean, I just did a gig at the convention center.
And is that consistent, or is that something that kind of changes depending on like, maybe if it's like versus like a kid's like birthday party or something?
Oh my gosh! Oh, totally. Like, I had a mom or library. Someone reached out to me about doing a show for some kids, and she goes, "You wouldn't do that trick where you put the box on their head and then put spikes through it, would you?" I was like, not for kids, no. Well, I don't even own that trick, but I was like, no. She goes, because the magician we had a couple of years ago did that, and the kids all cried and were scared.
Well, yeah.
But no, I mean, it's different. There are totally tricks you can adapt. Like I do a trick with ropes, and I could do it for like a corporate audience, and I could do it at a kid's party. But no, I got different boxes, a couple different boxes. One's effects that just play well for people, kids like 4 to 11. And that's another thing that gets challenging too. I mean, I've been booked for shows, and you got a kid who's 4, you got a kid who's 8, you got a kid who's 15, you got adults.
And those are completely different spectrums of what they're going to find enjoyable. And then it comes back to experience. Yeah.
Because you can't like prepare for that. A trick that a 4-year-old is like thinking is funny and cute, that 15 to 12 to 15-year-old is like, this is so dumb. Like, my gosh.
To be fair, you can do a lot of things in front of a 4-year-old that'll think is magic.
Yeah. And that age anyway, it's more just gags.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's not even tricks at that point. You just act silly and they're like, and then they love it. But then if you do something a little more complex for like a 15-year-old, then you lose the 4-year-old, and the 4-year-old just has no clue what's happening.
Right. Yeah.
So like, you get these mixed audiences, blended audiences, and it's challenging. It's challenging. But yeah, definitely different tricks for different groups.
And then is there like a one trick that always really stumps people?
So I do this close-up trick where like I take someone has a quarter and they put their initials and whatever, like a number on one side of it, so it's marked in permanent ink.
Right.
And I just kind of take it in my fingers and it melts and bends.
Yeah.
And that really freaks people out. So that's one of my favorite ones to do.
Okay.
I do some cool stuff with cards. People like the card stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a chance to show you some of that later.
That'd be great.
How much do you like practice with? Do you still have to practice with cards, or is it like kind of?
Yeah,
kind of got it down.
So at some point, I was just like, I'm gonna stop doing a million things and learning new stuff. Like I have these tricks. So for the most part, like I'll practice still, but I don't technically really try to learn new stuff anymore.
Just kind of maintain.
Like I just maintain and make sure I can do it like I know I want to do. Like I know what works for me. I've done it long enough to know what works for me in all the different venues, like corporate, family show, even like I've done some TV shows. I know it works well on TV and stuff.
That's interesting. So it's just all like trial and error though? There's no like...
Totally. Like I talked to my buddy about this the other day, and I was telling him how I love doing this one rope trick, and he's just like, yeah, like for some reason rope magic, I just never felt good reactions from it. And like one of the tricks you've probably even heard of this guy, like the linking rings, the magician takes the big metal rings and they like start linking and unlinking and all this crazy stuff. And for some reason, I just never thought that was a good trick, and I never ever once in my act did that trick. And that's just like a classic that like you would think every magician would do, and just didn't work for me. I just never thought that was a trick I wanted to do.
I think it seems, I don't even know if I have the authority to say it, but that almost seems like a cliche magic trick at this point.
There are a lot, and like you joked about earlier, you get the rabbit in the hat thing.
Yeah.
And then you get the one movie, what was it? Some people associate magicians with only children clown performers because they just don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'd
watch The Prestige,
love to freak
guys,
you out, but... And they'll do the, can you make me a bicycle clown or whatever that movie was from. And then I'll like freak them out with something and then they shut up and it's really funny. And, but yeah.
You mentioned how that one mom asked if you did the box and the spike thing. Have you ever dabbled with like dangerous stuff or like shocking kind of tricks?
That's never really been my bag. Like I've always just gone for entertaining and funny for the most part. There is a new routine I'm putting into my act where you have like a spike, and you guys might have heard of this, and like you got about 4 or 5 bags over, and you mix them up so no one knows where the spike is.
Yeah.
And then you start putting your hand over it, and you start like, which one do you want me to eliminate? And you slam down, and obviously the last one has the spike, and you didn't get your hand impaled.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of ways to do that, maybe kind of thing, but. Not recently, but there was a video of a guy, he tried doing it on a TV show in some other country, I forget what country, and he was doing it with the TV host's hand under his to make it even more amazing, but he messed up. And when he went down on the wrong spike, and it went through the TV host's hand, and like she's in such shock she doesn't know if this part of the trick, like,
well,
and obviously it wasn't.
Real, so
long story short, I don't think he's been hired anymore in that area.
Yeah, that's some good advice. Don't mess up the dangerous ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't mess up the dangerous ones.
Yeah,
but you can really take any trick and put your own spin on it, right? Because I mean, even like that one, you could make it funny, or you could make it like
absolutely
death-defying, like that guy tried to do, and then make it actually deadly.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the best thing is like, it's all kind of, you're kind of like an artist in a way. It's like you take the method or you take the idea, but it's kind of up to you to decide how you're going to, how it's going to play for your show.
Yeah.
Like I do trick with rope and I'm just kind of in your face and all these funny things are happening, but with the same ropes, you could probably tell like a really scary story, you know? So really it's just, you just find out who you are as a performer, entertainer, and just what you do.
Man, I'm surprised you haven't seen The Prestige. It's right up your alley.
I know. I've heard of it.
Well, no, it is really cool because like it's these two rival magicians who kind of steal each other's tricks and then put their own spin on it. You know what I mean? And they also will then sabotage each other. So you have stuff like the host's hand getting impaled or something.
Oh,
like
really?
That. So,
yeah.
Yeah. No, I think you'd like it. I think everybody would like it. It's a great movie.
Oh, and he's not getting paid to say that.
No, I'm not.
No, there's actually a movie
came out like 20 years ago.
I know. I'm just kidding. There's actually a movie called The Illusionist with Edward Norton.
Okay.
Fantastic movie.
Okay.
That's one of those magician movies I would highly recommend. I'll have to check out The Prestige too, but that was a good one. Had a really great twist and all that, so it's good.
All right. So I want to, before I forget, because I forgot, I want to talk more about the Mentalist stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, like was that stuff that was happening at the same time? Like what's the origin story there?
Yeah.
What even is that?
Right. So obviously I started as a magician, mostly I guess you'd call it a children's kids magician. And as I started doing more and more, I get a gig here or there for adults, nothing huge, living room show or just a family show where the mom would say, hey, can you do a couple things for the adults too? I would research, and I started finding these tricks, mentalism tricks that played really well. For adults, it's more of a puzzle than magic. A lot of adults think, magic's for kids, whatever. So you do the mind reading thing.
Lighten up, people.
I know, right? But you do the mind reading thing, and then corporate audiences love the mind reading. So now on my corporate website, I just call myself an interactive magician and mentalist for private and corporate events. It's a little different. I mean, like I give someone a book and they think of a word and I'll tell them the word. That's one of the things I'll do.
Yeah.
I do a thing with lottery cards.
Like how
it's
obviously
different.
You can't
it's
talk about it, but
I mean, magic's more sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Mentalism is like more like sleight of mind.
Yeah. You got to be on your game, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little different. It's kind of hard to explain, but it plays a little better for like a corporate audience. It's a little more snooty than a magic trick as they look at magic.
And that probably reaches the back too, right?
It does. It does.
Rope tricks, whatever, they can't really see
exactly. And you can get super interactive. It packs super small. You don't need to be carrying around all this stuff.
Mostly in your head, right?
A lot of it, yeah. So like if you think of a number between 1 and 3. I'm just kidding.
For a second, I'm like, oh God.
There are also, I don't know tons of them, but there are tons of psychological type.
Yeah.
For instance, if you ask someone to think of a number between 1 and 10, typically they'll think of a 7.
Sure.
Yeah. There's like tons of things like that. If you tell someone to think of like an odd number, both digits are odd between 1 and 50. But they're not the same digit. Like 33 wouldn't work because it's 2 3s.
Right.
Typically,
but that was the first one I thought of.
Yeah, I know. But if you tell them that you can't have 2 of the same number, they usually go for 37.
I was going to say 37.
Yeah, see, there's things like that.
I couldn't think of another odd number, honestly. I was stuck on 33 still.
Yeah. So there's stuff like that. And I mean, there's books, there's literature. It's not like some people come up and they go, well, how did you learn this if magicians can't like reveal their secrets? Like, bruh.
Yeah.
No, and I'm like, that's just kind of like a wise tale. I mean, library. I've had kids, they come up after the show. Like I said, I do a lot of corporate now, but when I was doing a lot of birthday parties, where can I learn how to do? I want to be a magician. And the local library, man, they usually have like a book or two. They'll literally have tricks in it.
Yeah.
That you can learn.
Yeah.
There's websites. I mean, you just do a little research, and there's tons of outlets to. It's not as like these secrets aren't as guarded as the stereotypical like society always, but the magician can never, it's kind of nonsense. If you have the drive, and just like the music thing, like, you learn the song, you learn the trick, it's pretty similar.
Yeah. So how long do you spend learning tricks? Like how much of that do you have to kind of schedule for?
Yeah, like I said, a lot of my scheduling now, like today I was in my office, I had to send a couple contracts out today for some doing a show for Pico, the electric company, so they had needed a new contract, and doing that. I did just, however, learn 2 new routines to go in my corporate show, and that took me, I was literally practicing them for about 3 days.
Wow.
Just like making that my priority of those 3 days to like get that down. And then once you break it in, like once I break in these new tricks, it gets easier.
Yeah.
I kind of see what points get a good laugh. I kind of see what points I maybe probably could do better at. So it's all about easing it in, you know. I'm always really nervous to like try a new trick because I've never done it.
Right.
And, like I know what works for me. Like I want to just do that. But then I'm like, all right, I got to do this because like I know it's going to be good. It's going to take like 3 to 4 performances until I'm like really confident or know exactly how it's going to play. But there's still a lot of time involved in the actual craft. But I find once you're, you know, it's a business, a lot more of your time than when you first started, just having fun doing tricks, and it kind of substitutes that for
I mean,
for the business
it's
stuff.
a necessary evil because you still get to do the stuff that you love.
Yeah,
that's great,
and it's still fun.
Yeah,
like, it really is. It's still fun. I mean, a lot of people, you know, roll out of bed at 6 a.m. It sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
you know?
you don't gotta
but like
tell me.
I'll have like 3 show day, and I'm like, all right, it'll be a long day, but let's do this. This will be fun. You know? I literally last month I had a Saturday with 4 shows in one day.
Wow.
So that was wild. And I mean, it was kind of nice because they were so back to back that like literally the second I showed up to the next one, I would set up and start. Like some days I'll have a show, say it like from like 11 to 12 and then like 6 to 7.
Yeah.
So here I am. I can't go home because I can't really relax and do anything. But then I still have to kill time. So those days can kind of be a drag. So it's nice to kind of try to like fit in one more in the middle of the day. And yeah, it's
what kind of so we talk a little about movies, but do you like consume any like magician media like Penn and Teller Tell a Lie or anything like that, or is it?
You know, I don't even get into it too much. I know there's like everyone thinks they're so clever when I'm performing. Oh, you know, America's Got Talent. Like it's not really my bag. And they go, you know, have you ever seen this show? And they're not being rude, but it's just like everyone says the same thing. You get so used to it.
Yeah.
But there's some cool magicians. The Penn and Teller Fool Us show is actually really cool, I think. My friend's been on there.
Really?
But I don't know. I'm at the point where like I just want to make money at it and do that, and that's more important than anything else. Like I feel like in the magic community, I'm not like some household name where everyone knows who I am, and I don't really care. Like for me, it's just more important to keep consistently booking shows. That's the most important thing.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's a good place to be as opposed to somebody who's been like trying to figure out the spike trick for 10 years to perfect it, and then
and that's like all they do. Like I'd much rather be unknown and successful than like someone that everyone knows but like behind the scenes isn't really doing much. And just saying.
On that note, we're gonna go to a break real quick.
When we come back, we'll have more magic, and we're gonna do actual magic also, believe it or not.
Zach is gonna do a lot of magic after this break.
The past 45 minutes I've been learning magic tricks. So
and we're back with the Put It podcast. Ari Paul, magician, actually gonna do magic. Are you ready, Zach?
I'm ready.
All right.
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Because I actually wasn't paying attention during the break.
Yeah, we're just gonna do a little magic.
Okay.
Should I stand?
We'll probably just stay there. And they try to move the mic a little closer to your mouth.
Yes. Well, the question is, do you like money?
I enjoy money. Money's good.
Yeah. It's a love and hate relationship, isn't it?
Okay.
How much money did you see there?
It kind of looks like it was $5.
How much was it?
$5.
Oh, look at this. Look at this.
Man,
20, 40, 60, 80, $100.
And
But let me tell you the good news. Can I tell you the good news?
Yeah.
It works with your money too.
Okay.
Now, it takes about 10 to 12 business days.
Okay. That's fine. That's
so
fair.
You should probably just give me your money now.
Okay.
And then we'll have to meet somewhere.
Okay.
Minimum of $1,000 tonight.
Okay.
I can tell you're not going to do it. I can tell. That's all right. That's okay. Don't worry. No worries. You'd be surprised. No one's ever done it.
Okay.
You know what though? Try this. Think of a number between 1 and 100. Don't tell us what it is. Think of a number between 1 and 100.
Okay.
Both of us do this? Or just...
I'm going to do it with the...
Yeah.
Yeah? Would you be amazed if I wrote down your number?
Probably, yeah.
Guess what?
Okay.
So would I. I can't do that. I'm not that good. I will try to write something else down then. Now think of a number. And I'm not even going to show this to the camera yet. because I don't want to ruin the surprise. But I did write something. I'll put it there. Don't look at it yet.
Okay.
But I've committed.
I'm not looking.
What I've written, there's no way I can change it because I'm here.
Right.
It's there.
For the folks listening, that's true. He has
Yes. I
passed
just
the
wrote
paper
something down on a
away
piece
from
of
him.
paper.
I promise he can't write anything on it.
Yes. And now, seeing as that's been done, tell us, what was your number? I'm going to show you something.
My number was 55. Scout's honor.
Yeah. And are you familiar with an iPhone?
Yes.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Can you hit the notes button? I'm asking him to press
Sure,
the notes button
sure.
on my phone here. Fantastic. Up.
Oh.
Now look, one of the notes says celebrities. Why don't you hit that button? It's a random list.
And also, just by the way, I can see the last time he edited it was yesterday. So
How about that?
Man.
And I could, you could see it's a list. It's a
don't
list
like
of
where
100
this is
people that
going.
are famous. Yeah.
Okay.
It really is. They're all celebrities.
yeah.
Scroll
Yeah,
through
yeah.
and make sure every single name and number is different. That's important. If they were all the same, that wouldn't be good at all.
they're definitely all very different, all
Very
100.
good. The names and numbers. Whom is at number 55?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
And then all the other names and numbers are different. Confirmed?
Confirmed.
Fantastic. And you landed on Leo DiCaprio?
Yep.
Turn over that big stack of papers. All of them. The whole thing there. Show the camera.
Oh, man.
Who was it?
Leo DiCaprio.
Oh my gosh. Wait.
I was really hoping it'd be.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. That's from
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah.
So the top paper said my name, Leonardo DiCaprio.
it sure did.
Not my name,
Not-
but 55. Yeah.
Yeah. And for $1,200 I'll explain the whole thing.
Okay.
Let's see what I got on me, right?
Can I get a hint? All right. I mean, it's fine. You can say no, but like,
Hot cold? You know, the funniest thing I remember, this fries people. I did this for a guy once. He hired me to do like a birthday, his dad's birthday. It was like all adults, and I did this, and he emails me the next day, and he goes, all right, the thing with the name, this is how it happened. And I wrote back, I said, no, you're wrong. then he emails me, he goes, all right, fair enough. He goes, but nah, this is how it happened. And I was like, no, I'm serious. Like, I would tell you, really.
Well,
and he's like, I'm going to be in touch because I'm going to let you know.
Did he ever figure it out?
No, he never wrote me back.
I love how you play that one because you're like, you can guess the number, but I can't. Like, there's no way I could write that down. I'm not that good. But you literally just do that.
Yeah.
You just write down the name.
And again, it comes down to entertainment value.
Yeah.
Like, that trick is my mind reading.
Yeah.
No, it's strong, but if I'm just like, all right, so like, think of a number. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
You have to present these things. You have to be. You want people to find something in it. Would you like to see one last quick one?
Absolutely.
One last quick one. Pack of cards. They're all different. Ace through king. Clubs, hearts, spades, diamonds.
Certainly looks different to me.
And take one out. Anyone you'd like. You know how this goes.
I sure do.
Fantastic. Show the camera.
Can I look at it?
Of course. Look at it. Don't forget it.
You got that, Lizzie?
I remember it too, Zach, in case you forget.
All right. We'll take it face down, of course. You could put your card back anywhere you'd like.
Okay.
But where you put it was helpful.
Yeah,
Thanks.
sure. Yeah, not a problem.
Would you be amazed if we could shuffle the cards and make your card come back to the top? Would you be amazed?
Yes.
You don't look amazed.
I'm not amazed.
It's not your card, is it?
No, but it was
Just for the record.
But
Just for the record, I never said I could do it. I just asked you if you would be amazed.
it was the first card I saw, though.
That's great. But if I blow on the king, it will turn into the 8 of spades. That's your
Ooh,
card.
that was my card.
Here, we'll take it one little step further. Just so you know, it's the only card in the world like it. Write your name on the face of the card.
Right.
That makes it the only one like it.
Right, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
On the face
For the sake of my radio reputation, I will write coffee
There you go.
guy.
Perfect. That's you. Oh, just so we know it's you, coffee guy. Write down your social.
Sure, yeah. That's
I'm just kidding.
That's our joke.
Did you do that joke? Yeah, that's an old one. Hey, but if people haven't heard it, they laugh. That's how that goes. Anyway, we'll take coffee guy's card. Yeah, it's smearing a little, but it's really on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. We'll take your card. Put it there. Would you say that is roughly the middle of the pack? Roughly. Yeah.
That
It's
was
back
the
on
middle.
top.
Right. Okay. Nice.
Do this again now that the applause has died down.
Yeah.
Would you say that was the middle?
Yeah. But it's
Jump back
definitely,
up. We'll do it again. This is the best one. Coffee man. Do you see the card?
Yes.
Coffee guy. You push it in.
Oh,
Yeah.
I felt the magic.
You know where it is?
Man. No, see, you knew that was happening.
That was gonna happen.
You knew that was happening because you edited that video. Man.
For radio listeners, the card was in Ari's mouth.
Yeah.
And Zach looked like an idiot because he
Yeah.
was staring at the deck.
Yeah. So normally, guys, we try not to do things like that where it's so important to see it. But
we're selfish people, and we want to see some magic today.
We can't not have a magician do magic tricks. So
agreed.
You just have to, a week later when this comes out, or 2 weeks later, whenever it is, whenever we have the Ari Paul episode of the Poorly Edited Podcast out on YouTube, you absolutely have to watch it.
Please do.
Because I think that was probably the first time I've ever had real magic in front of my eyes before. I was a sheltered child.
I get that a lot.
And it was pretty crazy. So.
I get a lot too. I thought it was going to be like, well, kitty tricks. You really fooled me. I'm like, well, duh.
It's probably not hard if they're thinking like that.
Right,
yeah.
That's a good point.
But it's funny, like the stigma with magicians and certain people. Like I'll walk up to a group that's got, it's all adults, hey, I'm the magician here tonight, blah, blah, blah. And they go, oh, that's cool. I bet you like my grandkids would love you. And I'm like, all right.
I will make your eyebrows disappear.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm like, now it's a mission. Like I'm going to freak you out now.
Yeah.
And 2 tricks in, they go, wait, you're actually like good at this. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Like Zach's, actually, we had a little more time.
We have a little bit more time if there's anything else
I
you
looked
want
at
to
the wrong
talk about, Pat.
There's a different clock that says it's 10 minutes from now.
Yeah,
that scared me.
We got to get that sorted because there's like 3 clocks in here and they all say a different time.
Yeah.
That can't be good.
So, yeah.
Magic.
Yeah. Talk about magic. Do you have any maybe idols that you look up to?
Yeah, I get that a lot. It's people
Also
you've probably never heard of.
Okay.
There is a guy, you would love this probably. You guys all love us. His name's Amazing Jonathan.
Okay.
And check it out. Amazing Jonathan. He's kind of like slapstick magic and comedy.
Okay.
But he's so funny. Like, I just think he's the funniest guy. It's just amazing.
I think that's great. I want to see more of that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because you're right. It's so much. It's so much beyond the trick. Like it's that performance and the delivery of it that makes it so much fun.
Yeah, man. And like all the big guys, Copperfield and Penn and Teller, Angel, the I don't know, it's just not my bag.
Yeah.
Like mega successful, but personally not my bag.
Yeah.
There's actually a theater, if you don't mind me talking about it.
Yeah, go for it.
No, there's a theater in Huntingdon with a D, Huntingdon Valley, PA, that I just did a show at Saturday. It's Smoke and Mirrors Magic Theater. So they get these guys coming in from like all the big shows, the AGT and Penn and Teller and stuff. So that's a really cool theater. Because people always ask me, like, where can we see you? Like most of my stuff's private.
Right.
But there's a lot of magic going on. You just have to know where to look.
That's how I figure out about music in this area too. There's like a lot of like local bands, but you have to figure out where they are.
Right,
Yeah.
totally. I mean, a lot of restaurants, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Who do bands market to nowadays? Any like clubs more? Is that like a thing?
I still
to get paid at least.
It's really weird around
tough.
here.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
sure.
have to tell you.
There's like
No,
bars
I
and
know.
stuff too, but then it's like you're singing for 3 hours. Like our friend
For like 3 hours for like $50 or something.
Yeah, no, there's that. But the one I'm thinking of, we filmed one. So he was in a bar and he was like smoking. Well, it seemed like smoking was encouraged because it was like really thick cloud.
Oh,
and he
I
was
can't imagine the musicians
it
have
must
to go
have been
through.
really rough on his voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing this woman's filming for a comedy special that she's doing on October 12th at the Newtown Theater in Newtown, PA at 4 p.m. It's free, and I'm going to do a little magic with her at that.
Cool.
So, yeah, I'm doing it for some good footage like we talked about, the social proof, and it'll be a great backdrop. And it's just being tactical, and it's not rocket science.
Yeah,
anyone could do it. You just got to put the work in, like anything, music, whatever.
It's a lot of initiative too.
Yes,
that's like that's a really hard one to get down.
Yeah, I mean, when I started, it was just so exciting and new to me. That's all I needed. Now sometimes I'm like, all right, Ari, like you got to do the work now. Like, get up, stop playing around, stop watching this TV show, just learn something new or do some marketing or something.
Because there's like no immediate gain either.
Yeah, exactly.
You like walk around for like 3 days and then like no
gigs,
you
no
up,
one calls you. That's when you start going, oh boy, this can't be good. And then all of a sudden it's weird. You get these, they come in flurries. I don't know how to explain it. It's like supernatural. Like nothing for a week, and then like you wake up one day and you got 3 people going, hey, are you available this date? Are you available this date? Just the nature of the beast. So
are there certain times a year that are kind of more?
I mean, December's always busy because you get the holiday parties. That seems to be the busiest. October, for some reason, is always Halloween's always busy. I've already got a bunch of stuff booked around Halloween and something on Halloween. January's typically slow, I guess, because people just spend all that money for Christmas presents and Hanukkah presents and all that stuff. So
they're all too busy at the gym for 1 month.
For 1 week.
So it's kind of hit or miss. You just never really know. December you'll get the leads. If you book them is one thing, but the leads come in December just because everyone's throwing a party.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Now it's really the end.
Yeah. No, thank you so much for coming by and taking some time out of your busy day.
Thanks for making Zach feel like a child again with some magic.
No, that was a lot of fun, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it was
appreciate
fun.
that.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any like anything else you might want to plug. Maybe like a
quick website.
Yeah, social media too.
Yeah, check me out. It's my website for corporate private college events is www.ari, my first name ARI, Paul Paul, and then entertainment.com, aripaulentertainment.com. Perform for companies and colleges and anything like that.
Awesome.
That's about it.
Check out youtube.com/latitude12 for all our past podcasts if you're interested.
Yeah, no, definitely. If you're only listening live for some reason, you have to watch the actual magic happen, man. You can't just listen to it.
Come back in 2 weeks, guys.
Yeah. And, we have all of our old podcasts there, so you can check that out. If you really like listening live, we're live every Monday from 4 to 5 on WXLV, the iHeartRadio. And I don't know if there's anything else we want to say.
I think that's it.
Okay.
Thank you, Ari, for coming on.
Guys.
And,
thank you so much.
Of course.
Have a good night.
Intro, outro music by
Airspace. Check them out on streaming platforms. Good night.
I know you, and you know that I want you to know me too. All that's left for me to do is sit and stare at you. Yeah, sit and stare at you. Look at me, put it all on your sleeve, and don't let them get the best of your life. Everybody saw it happen, from the kids to the preacher's wife. Looking back, it's all I know, and there's nothing we can do. All that's left for me to love you, and you can say you love me too. Yeah, say you